After Trump learns Pelosi is vacationing in Hawaii during Gov't shutdown, he makes her pay. Just when you think that the Democrats could not possibly be any more brazen than they are, they surprise you with flaunting wealth and privilege in your face while others are suffering needlessly. President Trump did not leave D.C. for Christmas this year. Instead, he chose to stay and work on the border wall issue. He put national security and the American people above his personal interests. This lays bare the lie that Nany Pelosi put forth that Trump only wanted the government shutdown so he could golf more at his Florida resort. Meanwhile, Pelosi is in Hawaii, partying with the rich and powerful. Trump didn't even have to go out of his way to make Pelosi pay on this one, she did it herself and frankly doesn't care what Americans think of her arrogant actions. Theomandashia. Nancy Pelosi is enjoying the Gov't Shutdown from a luxury resort in Hawaii after complaining real Donald Trump only wanted the break so he could golf more in Florida. Meanwhile, the president is still in D.C. working hard. Nancy Pelosi. It'll take a true leader like President Trump who will give us his time to help all of us as opposed to Marxists who steal our money and then party with it at luxury resorts like the 5-star resort in Hawaii where Pelosi is lounging. It's disgusting in the extreme and should make every American's blood boil. She's staying at the Fairmont Orchid Resort on Hawaii's Big Island. Nancy Pelosi just hanging out in Hawaii during the government shutdown. This seems to be a tradition. Trump is in D.C. on the 7th day of the government shutdown to work on it while Pelosi and other Dems are vacationing at resorts for millionaires. I detect a trend. President Trump warned today that if Democrats do not agree to his demands to fund a wall on the southern border, he will close the southern border entirely and cut aid to Central American countries. He would also cut back on trade with Mexico. We will be forced to close the southern border entirely if the obstructionist Democrats do not give us the money to finish the wall. Also change the ridiculous immigration laws that our country is saddled with, he tweeted Friday morning. Hard to believe there was a Congress president who would approve. We will be forced to close the southern border entirely if the obstructionist Democrats do not give us the money to finish the wall. Also change the ridiculous immigration laws that our country is saddled with. Hard to believe there was a Congress president who would approve. Last Thursday, House Republicans voted 217 to 185 to approve a measure that would keep the government open and allocate $5.7 billion for border wall funding. The bill is now waiting a full vote in the Senate, where lawmakers are hashing it out over funding for border security. Trump originally wanted $5 billion for border wall funding and Democrats only offered $1.6 billion, which they claimed was a very generous offer. But more importantly, Pelosi claimed Trump was plunging the country into chaos around the holidays, yet he was in Washington working and visiting troops in Iraq. First Lady Melania Trump and their son, Barron Trump, even returned to the White House so the family could spend Christmas together. While Trump was working, Pelosi has been living it up in Hawaii at the luxury resort. Earlier this week, Trump delivered a brutal Christmas message to House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer over the partial government shutdown. While speaking with reporters on Tuesday in the Oval Office, Trump stood firm on his demand for funding for the border wall between the United States and Mexico. He said the government shutdown would continue until the wall is funded. I can't tell you it's not going to be open until we have a wall, a fence, whatever they would like to call it. They'll call it whatever they want, he said. Pelosi's crew claims that they have provided counteroffers. Democrats have offered Republicans 3 options to reopen government that all include funding for strong, sensible, and effective border security, but not the president's immoral, ineffective and expensive wall, said Drew Hamill, Pelosi's deputy chief of staff. With the House majority, Democrats will act swiftly to end the Trump shutdown, and will fight for a strategic, robust national security policy, including strong and smart border security, and strong support for our service members and veterans. All of that is a lie, I'll believe it when it materializes and it won't. Pelosi never tells the truth, but she sure knows how to live it up in Hawaii. Pelosi has vacationed in Hawaii before. In 2011, it was reported by the Hawaii Reporter that Pelosi had in previous years stayed in a $10,000 a-night suite at the Four Seasons Resort in Kona for her holiday vacation. Now, that's roughing it while President Trump tries to put America first and protect our sovereignty. The Hill. President Trump, I can't tell you when the government is going to be open. I can tell you it's not going to be open until we have a wall, a fence, whatever they would like to call it. I'll call it whatever they want. Real Donald Trump. The United States loses so much money on trade with Mexico under NAFTA, over $75 billion a year not including drug money, which would be many times that amount, that I would consider closing the southern border a profit-making operation. We build a wall or. Real Donald Trump. Close the southern border. Bring our car industry back into the United States where it belongs. Go back to pre-NAFTA, before so many of our companies and jobs were so foolishly sent to Mexico. Either we finish the wall or we close the border. Real Donald Trump. Honduras, Guatemala and El Salvador are doing nothing for the United States but taking our money. Word is that a new caravan is forming in Honduras and they are doing nothing about it. We will be cutting off all aid to these three countries, taking advantage of US for years.